Hello everyone and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto YouTube Charts video. I am No FOMO Charts. Today is Saturday, August 1st, 2026. It's after 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at night. Welcome everyone. This is a trading and investing YouTube Charts video and channel. Next week we have earnings releases from companies such as Palantir, AMD, SpaceX, Circle, Ionic, SanDisk, Western Digital, and D-Wave Quantum as well. Very important relating to AI. We also have economic data from data sources, which include manufacturing, job openings, non-farm employment change, services, unemployment claims, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, a lot of job data. Recent news. Last week, the USA Federal Reserve held interest rates steady. Last Wednesday, July 29, 2026. Banks reportedly, they're anticipating interest rate hikes later this year. Apple reported weaker than expected September revenue guidance, and so their stock price decreased. Amazon reported strong Q2 and AWS growth. They also completed their investment in OpenAI, and so the stock price increased. Semiconductor and AI stocks are very volatile right now due to leverage, trading volume, and a change in market sentiment. I am going to use a timer today in the background, so that's what that little beeping noise is. But I'm trying to make my videos as short as possible. So thank you for watching. Here we go with stocks. SPY S&P 500. Last week I marked the resistance and the support zone levels. We are still consolidating. Although that Wednesday FOMC negative reaction sell-off, we actually fell right into the support zone of 729, and I actually closed my shorts and I went long there. I'll explain those trades at the end of this video. So right now we are in consolidation price going sideways mode on S&P between 755 and 730. If we ever crash below 720 or 715, then we're in big trouble. So there's still a chance for a bullish scenario as long as we break out above 755 post earnings. But if enough bad news and data comes out, we can't have this bearish reaction in the S&P. Now, if we talk about QQQ, we've already had the sell-off, the QQQ sell-off. So for example, we had that symmetrical triangle, which broke bearish, and tech stocks, AI stocks, semiconductors have all been selling off for almost 40 days, almost 2 months. June 2026 was basically the top of semiconductors. So are we uptrending? Are we consolidating? Or are we downtrending? Honestly, looking at the charts, we are downtrending right now. Lower low, lower high. Still, and so we just made a little quick lower high. So I just played that. I just traded that. I shorted and then longed and then closed. Because this is a little short-term downtrend. We are not starting a mega uptrend at the moment. So that's why we're stuck below the ceiling resistance of 695. Deep support here at 662. And we need to make higher highs and higher lows to get out of this problem. Dow Jones, we're also stuck between that resistance, 527 to 514 as well, consolidating sideways in the price. We are not in a uptrend that's strong right now. We're consolidating sideways to the price after some nice momentum, however. So we're bouncing out the 50 EMA, which was 514 area. We're holding above the 20 EMA. And so we're trying to see if we can break through 528 to 530 for Dow Jones. IWM is similar. We downtrend faded down into support 288, resistance 293. It does not look like the uptrend is holding up so well, although sometimes we get these diagonal consolidations and then further breakouts. So that's what I'm looking out for on IWM. Just in case there's a surprise breakout, it just has to gap up above 293 on any sort of news. So small caps were very popular in the trading past couple days. Let's go to oil. Oil I'm not much of a trader for oil right now because it's so news dependent, but there was a technical setup off that 200 EMA, and we had a nice continuation, piercing that upper Bollinger Band like I was saying last week, and then we fell down to the 20 EMA zone, excuse me, to the 20, 50, and 100 EMA zone. I'll just call it the price. It's 124. So that was a nice short. Whoever caught that 3-day flush down, bounce back up. Is the rally over? It's possible that it might be because we have that fundamental news. Being very cautious, what I say here is it's downtrending, it's uptrending, higher high, higher low. But if we don't clear this 139, honestly, then it could have this downtrend rally fading. That's the warning to watch out for US oil. Natural gas does not really respond well to technicals, so I don't turn them on all the time. What we need to see is extreme oversold conditions, meaning sell-off. It's not even oversold on a weekly chart, but every time UNG has this reaction around $10, so once it gets to 10, somebody has some kind of auto buy there that it could react. So if this is a technical bottom for natural gas, I'm trying to see if we can get up to 1085 or 1130 on this price. Let's go to gold. GLD still consolidating to the side right now between 385 and 362. It's a large range, about 5 to 6%. But what's good and bad? What's bad is it's death cross below the EMAs. What's good is if people are going to flight to safety, perhaps we might actually short-term up cross and go 5% to the upside if the support holds. Same for silver. If silver can hold that support zone at $51, and we're trying to go between 51 and 54, so silver has a 10% range here. If we break out above 54, we could have a little nice short squeeze up to 60. Watching to see if that happens, because it bounced off that S1 pivot support. Not quite oversold, but I can see some kind of momentum that's building here. That's why I'm waiting for that trade to see if that actually executes or not. Let's go to SMH here. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on SMH. So using trend, are we uptrending? Is it sideways consolidation going sideways price, or is it downtrending? Honestly, we are downtrending, just like NASDAQ QQQ chart. That's why you have not heard me in the past 30, 40 days say buy or long AI chip stocks, because it's downtrending. Not the greatest spot to buy. The only reason I might buy is because certain individual stocks like SNDK at one point in time, just 3, 4, 5 days ago was 50% discounted. That's the only reason. But SMH itself was 25% discounted after inflation price. So why did this happen? Because we were downtrending and then we had a little flush down below the Bollinger Band Morningstar triple candle pattern. And it did rally up to this 557 area with the fade. So it's a little dead cat bounce. Dead cat bounce means that it's a fake bounce and it's not actually going to continue higher. We're going to see. My bullish case is actually if we fall down to make a double bottom, and then traders would re-enter there or make a higher low. We also re-enter if that happens. So I need a little bit more data here on the price chart on the daily chart, maybe 1 or 2 weeks of data, see if this price is actually going to hold. The bearish case, the very bearish case, is we just crashed down to 465 because AI sell-off is not over. So there is a relationship between Samsung, SK Hynix, SanDisk, Intel, I would say SMH, very, very volatile right now. So I can look at this in 2 ways. Like if we go to DRAM, for example, DRAM, very easy to overanalyze DRAM, but very simply is the price going uptrend? Is it stuck between a range or is it downtrending? Unfortunately, it's downtrending. And so if I use Fibonacci to get some quick levels, we downtrend all the way to the 618. That's the little golden pocket right here between these two lines of 618 and the 650 of Fibonacci, or even lower. So I shorted Tesla. I'll do that trade in about a couple minutes. Shorted Tesla, longed QQQ and MES in this zone, and had a nice trade. But we have to make sure yes, somebody mistakenly, unfortunately, dollar cost average all the way down here, and they're stuck with the loss still probably around 60, which is that anchored VWAP. But watch out, anchored VWAP. So as long as we're below VWAP, it's basically bearish, which is this blue line. And so once we lost that, is a very aggressive place to be in the market. Let's go to Tesla. I'll try to do my trades in about a minute or two. So Tesla, I shorted post earnings, and after studying the charts, realized that Tesla's in a large symmetrical triangle, and if their earnings are bad, their EPS unfortunately missed expectations, and they had approximately negative 1.1 billion negative cash flow, if I read that statement correctly. Essentially, what I did in a nutshell is post-market, I shorted Tesla using a 2 times inverse ETF, and that went 13% for me here. I closed at 13%, and then excuse me, I made 18%, and then on the 2 times ETF, it was 36% profit. So long story is I made 36% profit on this trade. I shorted very early. I shorted actually here right after that first candle. That's how I made the 18%, 36%. And then I closed here because I knew, okay, usually when it gets that deep, don't get my hopes up, because for further continuation to downside, the better place to short was here on the very obvious, here, down, lower low, and then short right there, and then hold through the earnings. That would have been a massive, would have been like, let's see what that would have been. That would have been a 50% short profit. So I still like Tesla. I love Tesla. It's just unfortunately that's, when trading, if there's opportunity, we have to take it because opportunities don't come that much. So let's go to ES. So I trade futures as well. I trade micros and minis. So I'll just show one trade, which is the Friday trade, and I actually day trade scalp this. So after, even on an hourly, this is that bottom of the FOMC. So that Bollinger Band, lower QQQ, SPY breakout to the bottom, this exact spot in an hourly intraday. So what I noticed is, okay, actually we're having this positive reaction, and I closed my short here towards the end of the day. I just woke up and said, I'm going to close it because this is not good for me. I woke up, saw we're crashing, just close into strength of the short. Now, once I saw that, wait a second, Asia's having a bullish reaction in the Asia session. And then when Europe happened, they're a little bit more bearish. But then when we had the USA bullish reaction in the USA pre-market, I said, wait a second, we just made a giant higher low. This is not a bearish pattern. This is actually bullish pattern. So then I longed. Long stocks. And then when Friday came, on Friday morning, I was thinking, okay, I don't think we're going to go that much higher, because if Samsung, SK Hynix, and the South Korea ETF gaps up and rallies 15% in one overnight trade, it's ridiculous. It's because the EWY South Korean ETF is, I think it's about 45% weighted of, it's like 25% Samsung, 25% almost, 22% SK Hynix. That's why it goes extremely volatile. So when we have that kind of reaction and it gaps up and rallies for one day, I was not anticipating continuation. So on that Friday morning, when we had that Bollinger Band overbought here, I didn't short the exact top. I shorted that. I captured portion of the move. I just scalp day traded that. My target wasn't extreme. Although I probably could have held longer to catch the full 50-point move. I targeted 10 to 20 points. And the good thing is, using technical analysis, I saw, wait a second, there's a support level here. I'm going to try to enter that, close the short, enter long, and had a nice 10 to 20% or 10 to 20 point move. And I realized, when I entered the second long here, this is the one that I should have held longer. So there's still some improvement I can make in my own trading of trade management and risk management, trying to not always target 10 to 20 points. So instead of selling at the 10, 20 point move, I could actually just move my stop from down here and move my stop up. And that's what I should have done. Even though I probably would have got stopped out. There's that little red candle, one right there. So just really easing into that, maybe sell half of the contracts, don't sell all of them, and move my stop to break even, move half to my target, and then let the rest run. I did catch that short at the end of the day because I noticed that, wait a second, we have a multiple confluence. It's right at the end of the day though, so risky 1250 or 350 Eastern is that, okay, I have a hanging man candle below resistance with a potential evening star pattern on a 5-minute. Look at my oscillators. We have overbought conditions on stochastic RSI, overbought on regular RSI as well. And my Bollinger Band was poked out. That's 5 or 6 indicators. Not even using oscillators. There's 3 or 4 signals. So then I shorted that. Nice little pop down. And that was really good move. I only shorted 10 points, but there's a full 20-point move, and that was done for the day. I was out of there. So my trading is not perfect, but I can definitely use my technical analysis and trading skills. For me, going into August, going to the rest of this year, because there's so much volatility in the market, I'm just trying to focus more on risk management and position sizing rather than chart setups. So that's just where my mindset is at. All right, let's go to crypto and we'll close this video. Total market cap on crypto market. So remember, we're in the downtrend, death cross, downtrending in this market, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. I closed all my crypto. I played this one swing and I'm out of there. So I have no crypto positions. I have no stock positions right now. I just closed everything and I took profits in both directions. So I'm out of there. And that's, for me, I do that when the market's not clear. Like, is it clear we're going to have a massive move to the upside? Not clear yet because it was potential higher low. But then once we had this head and shoulders, I said, I am out of there. That's not good. Bearish. And then we had the fade. So right now, my long-term investment plays are still, my ideas are still in progress. Meaning I still think Bitcoin will rally in the next 1 or 2 years. But is it the exact perfect buy spot to buy right now? In my opinion, it is not. So that's why I have to switch to, if I want to do something these days, I have to trade and try to trade intelligently. So Bitcoin is also still in that downtrend and lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We didn't quite rally up to the $73 range, and we're seeing that fading down below the 50 EMA here at 65,000. So once we got rejected below 66, 65,000, I did not really want to play into that or buy any of that. So again, what am I waiting for then on Bitcoin? I'm waiting for oversold conditions. Are we oversold on Bitcoin? Unfortunately not. There's a small intraday trade potential here on the stochastic oversold, but the big RSI oversold on daily, weekly, not quite yet. That's why I'm anticipating further downside on crypto, on Bitcoin. Yes, we can hit that $55,000 Bitcoin or lower, 40,000, 25,000. If we get back to 15,000, 20,000, I'm probably auto buying with leverage. I'm probably going to long leverage down there. We'll see. I'm just not trying to long leverage now because it's historically Bitcoin usually crashes down 80, 90% before it hits the bottom. And it might be different this time because we have institutions, but I'm just waiting for not even a price target. What I'm waiting for, and this is probably the most important thing, most important idea with crypto is, even AI stocks, is if we're still in a downtrend on Bitcoin daily or Bitcoin weekly, I'm not investing big money into crypto. What do I need to see? Exactly this. This meaning I need to see uptrend reversal. We're not downtrending anymore. We're not consolidating between a tight range. We are uptrending, making higher highs, higher lows. Then we get that golden cross. That's the all-in moment. That's the all-in moment. Honestly, on this chart, do I see that right now? The answer, unfortunately, is not now. No, it's not happening. That's why you don't hear me telling people to buy all in crypto or making crypto purchases. I'm doing very, very small purchases where it's like 1/10 of my account moving around. It's 1/10 of 1%. So, you know, the 1% rule of risk 1% on trade. I'm risking 1/10 of a percent on my crypto trades right now. That's why, from experience, size way down when the market's downtrending. Don't size up when it's downtrending as a bull long. Size down or just skip and just wait. So I'm sizing down very much right now on crypto. So wrapping up this video, what I need to see is I need to see hold above 58,000, or if it's going to crash to 55 or 50,000, that's fine. Let it crash and let it just find its fair value for crypto. Ethereum, USD, very similar analysis. Downtrending, still lower high. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Okay. If we're going to lower low, we're going back down to 1,500. We're going back down to 1,000 because we're still in this downtrend. The only way we're going to get out of here is we don't crash below 1,600 and then make higher highs, higher lows. That's how we're getting out of this bear market. So all I can do, easily just write my support and resistance and just play those levels is if I'm trying to trade, or if I'm investing, just wait. Because we get that weekly death cross. That is bad. I am not exaggerating. On crypto weekly, when you get a death cross, it's bad. So when we're seeing, and I'm saying this because we're already inside of the bear market. So this is not the start of the bear market, but we're in the middle towards the end of it, I would say. In the short term, we're at least in the middle of it towards the end. Not South Korea, but Solana. I'll look at the South Korea ETF at the end. Solana death cross, not good. Lower low, lower high. Right? What am I looking for? I need to see this price action. Turn everything off. I need to see this price action copy pasted. Let's go sideways on Solana. Hold the bottom. Last time is $20. This time, what's it going to be? It's going to be 60, 40, which one? 20? I need to see it hold, and then I'll re-enter Solana big. I do want to point out to people that on the stock market, and this is not a recommendation, this is not financial advice, this is not a financial recommendation. This is what I'm doing, personal opinion only, idea only, is that last time, 2-3 years ago on crypto, instead of buying the actual crypto, so last time I bought actual Solana for real, Solana at 25, and we held out all the way at 200 and 250. Instead of doing that this time, I might buy some on Solana crypto, but then I might also buy the stock OTC, or the stock ETF of Solana. Because you can see, I've been secretly watching this for like this whole year. Nothing's happening yet, but it's 550. 550, I'm like thinking, okay, last time when we had the massive rally, this ETF went like 2,000%. It went 2,500% from the start. From the beginning of the rally, right where I bought crypto, it went 1,600%. So I'm expecting this to go 500 to 10x, 500 to 1,000%. This could be the next NVIDIA type of trade play. So that's why if I'm looking for deep value in the market, it's crypto right now. AI is not cheap. Semiconductors are not cheap. When I look at SNDK, and I already see that, okay, this stock already went 60x. It went 6,000%, and now it's at 3,000%. But from the top, it's down about negative 50%, and we have the earnings on August 5, which is just 4 days from now. So I'm very much interested in SNDK because if it's down 50%, it was down more than that. If it's down 50 to 60% and we have good earnings, that could be the gap up catalyst that we need to get us out of here, this bearish momentum. We didn't quite hit the 50% target, which would have been 750. But from the top to bottom, it already went negative 57% in a short period of time in about 1 month. So that's why you're hearing people re-entering or maybe trying to reposition themselves. But for me, if I'm very conservative, and I'll say the 200 EMA right on the dot, it's perfect, right at 991. So for me, unless we get a really short-term intraday reversal cross, because on a 4-hour we're still downtrending here, I'm not really going to buy SNDK unless technically we're uptrending or we get this bullish catalyst. So probably looking ahead, we need to see strong EPS on revenue from SNDK. We need to see if they have some kind of cash flow problem. That's going to be a problem. If they have guidance problem, if they have capital expenditure problem, if they have a deal problem, then I would expect the stock price to go down. If all the check boxes are green, everything I'm talking about, then we might actually have a reversal here. Because anybody who missed this beginning from 2026 of $200, it's so ironic. It's almost unbelievable. We had a $200 stock go all the way to 2,400. So even just this in one half of the year, it went almost 10x. It went 800x. It's incredible, right? And then you had the big pullback. So that's why you don't hear me saying I'm leveraging up on SNDK or chip stocks, is because I don't believe the value, if we're just talking about price, cheap or price, it's not here. Although it exists now, is what I'm saying. It's an expensive stock that just had a 50% discount, and now I'm looking towards the earnings. So like I'm saying, GSOL or some of these grayscale crypto ETFs, GSOL, a little bit of GXRP, right? They're looking pretty low to me. So as long as we have, GXRP doesn't really go that much, like GDOG as well, Dogecoin. Not all of these are OTC anymore. Some of these are on NYSE ETFs. They're just very, very, nobody buys them, extremely low volume. So this is a very, very risky play. The volume's only like 8,000 is ridiculous, right? How low it is. But some of these are down quite a bit. So it's just on my watch list. I'm not going to buy them yet. But if they have a turnaround, then I probably will buy them next. The grayscale ETFs, the cryptocurrencies, and then AI stocks only when it's good. So like I was saying, if we want to go to South Korea and finish with this, why do we have such a massive crash? What's going on? Look at South Korea ETF. It's mostly made of 20% Samsung and like 20% SK Hynix. It's very, very large. DRAM, I think, is only something like 2 or 5% or something like that, SNDK. So 20% weighting for a South Korea ETF, that's why it's crashing so much. And if we actually go into the actual Samsung stock, we'll see that on a weekly chart, they had a big, big push to the top. We can see it got really extreme in the past couple months. Poked that upper Bollinger Band. The daily had a triple top here. And then once we lose that trend line on Samsung, it's game over for the rally. And then we had the fade down 36%. And then they had earnings, which were mixed earnings. Right? So that flip, it's not random. It's right on the earnings day. We look at SK Hynix as well, not the NASDAQ one, but the real one. The foreign SK Hynix. They had that double top back in the middle to the end of June. Massive sell signal. We don't have to wait to see, is my portfolio unfortunately going to crash? You know, I'm saying an imaginary trader. We don't have to see it. Let's just see how far it goes down. Is when we see a double top or extreme price move like this, it's time to sell. That's why for me, I sold all my stocks. I sold all my crypto. And I'm just trading right now. And for crypto, I'm trading very small. I'm waiting for, okay, they had earnings as well, SK Hynix. And mixed. Record-breaking profit. Although I missed the analyst expectations. But it's not going to continue this rally until we higher high, higher low. So you can see every chip stock like almost looks the same. Samsung, SK Hynix, DRAM, ETF, and SNDK. We flip back to SNDK, it literally looks exactly the same. It's so correlated right now. That's why I'm not pushing too hard into it. The only thing is it's temporarily discounted to see if we get that bounce up. So here on AMD, flash look at Intel, AMD, they're all pulling back. Intel had a worse pullback. And once we lost that trend line, pull back a whopping negative 30% after their earnings, which was even good. So if we look at technicals post-earning, we can see it looks like another bounce is forming. It's going to take some time. And moving into AMD for this week, it's not quite clear here on this, but SMH, DRAM, it's slowly starting to build. So probably in the next month or two, I would say we're probably going to get a potential reversal attempt. Now, for SpaceX, this is the big problem with SpaceX right now is we have earnings on Tuesday, August 4th. And then I believe the share unlock happens around maybe like August 6th or something like that. So this week is going to be AMD, chips, semiconductors, and SpaceX this entire week. Again, we are downtrending. It's very obvious. We are not uptrending. We're downtrending right now. But everyone's going to be watching for the earnings. Now, SpaceX is probably going to have negative earnings estimate right now, some revenue as well. But people are looking for news about rockets, Starlink, NASA, moon base. We're not Optimus, but a little bit, maybe a little bit of robotics in there as well. But mostly, what's the roadmap? What's the future? What's going on here? Are there any AI deals? What's going on with AI? So that's what people are questioning right now. But for me, I understand from IPOs, just unfortunately, that IPOs can crash negative 50 to negative 90% over time. And so just because we're 50% from the top, it might not be the bottom for SpaceX. So plus, if more shares unlock, are those people going to hold them? They might capitulation sell as well. The only good thing for SpaceX is if it's going to continue bearish, remember, we don't always have to long. There are SpaceX inverse. I'm trying to find that right now. I always forget the name. Inverse. Here we go. There's a long and short. Multiple. 2 times long, 2 times short. So if somebody had to actually pull up the 2 times short, the chart looks very different, right? Just be careful now. It's because it's 90% up from that inverse breakout, right? This is the shorts making money here on this chart. It's the exact inverse of SpaceX. So be careful. We don't want to short the bottom and then have a massive reversal back to the upside. That's why I closed my shorts, just in case, right before this earnings. Let's see what happens, but it's not all about technicals. It's about the financials as well. We open up Tesla again. Remember, if you have an account, you can just click the more financials here. And there's a lot of information, but this is basically free, right? For some accounts, or we pay for some of this data with the account, but on other websites, it's free. What's going on here with the EPS and revenue? What's going on here with the net income? What's going on here with the earnings, EPS? Then if you want to drill down even more detail, what's going on with the revenue, profit, asset versus liability, cash flow? Is it negative or is it positive? Very important for a quarterly basis. That's what we're all interested in seeing. So I'm not always just looking at price charts. And a lot of times the catalyst is not even visualized. It doesn't show up on the chart. It shows up on the news first. So that's why this week it's really all about that news. But we're in a discounted spot for some AI semiconductors, and crypto is very oversold on some of those ETFs. But the cryptocurrencies themselves, I'm probably gonna have to wait. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, consider clicking like or subscribe. Hope you have a nice week, and I'll see you in the next video.